Hello and welcome to the Revit Starter series. We are on session number 8, and today we're going to take a look at scheduling inside Revit. So first of all, allow me to introduce myself to anyone who's new to the Revit Starter series. I'm Matt Calloway. I'm one of the application engineers here at Man Machine. I've been working with Man Machine for just over 5 years now, and I've been working with Autodesk software in one form or another for over 10 years now. Those numbers do start racking up, don't they? So again, anyone who's new to this series, do check out the Man Machine website where we have a brilliant blog covering technical articles, tips and tricks, and all sorts of stuff on all sorts of software, including Revit. And do check out our YouTube channel, again, where you can find all sorts of useful tips and tricks, and also all the recordings for the previous sessions. We are on session number 8 now, so there is 7 previous videos that you can watch on there regarding the Revit Starter series. So first of all, let's jump straight into Revit. Okay, so again, we're continuing with this marvelous building that we've been constructing in the previous videos. And up until now, we've been working in Revit 2022. And we're going to look at schedules today, and there's some nice new features in Revit 2023. So we started these sessions all the way back in February before Revit 2023 came out. So we're going to upgrade our model to 2023. And I'll cover a couple of principles off on that front as well, just whilst we're in the process of doing that. So here's our model in Revit 2022. Let's close Revit 2022 and get rid of that. There we go, and I've already got Revit 2023 preloaded. So again, we're on the home screen. Not too much is going to look dissimilar, but there's a few nice features on schedules that I wanted to show off. So we'll take this opportunity now to upgrade our Revit project. So on the home screen of Revit 2023, on the left-hand side, under Models, I'm going to click the Open button. And we get this open dialog box. Nothing too exciting there yet. Now I'm just going to navigate to our Revit Starter Series folder that's on my desktop, if I can remember where it is. Where's it gone? There it is. Okay, I'm on session number 8. And there's the file that we've been working on. Now, just whilst we're on this screen, I'll simply point out the fact that the best way to open up a Revit project is through the open dialog box within Revit. The main reason being is when you select the file, it will tell you the version of Revit that that project belongs to. If you're not already aware, Revit is version specific. Now, you can upgrade projects to newer versions of Revit, just like what we're doing here, but you can't downgrade projects. So once we've upgraded this project to 2023, we will no longer be able to open it up in Revit 2022. We can upgrade, but we can't downgrade. So do be aware of that. I'm going to hit the open button at the bottom. It's going to open up this project, and you'll see a little window pop up, and it'll shows that it's converting the project from a 2022 project to a 2023 project. And there's the little box you've got there. If you're not expecting to be upgrading your project, this should be ringing alarm bells if you ever see this model upgrade window appear whilst you're opening. If you just double click on the file from your desktop or from a Windows folder, Windows is just going to launch the default version of Revit, which may or may not be the correct version of Revit that you want to use, and you might accidentally upgrade a project. But here we go, that's our project upgraded. We're now working in 2023. So back to what we're supposed to be doing today, which is looking at schedules within Revit. So within the project browser, if I just minimize the category for views, we can see we do have a category for schedules/quantities. There's a couple of ways we can start a new schedule. I can right click on schedule/quantities, and in the context menu that appears, I have the option at the top to start a new schedule. You can also access it through the View tab on your ribbon bar, where again, we can create a new schedule. Both ways are the same, it makes no difference, just whichever happens to be your preference. So for this particular project, we're going to do a schedule of doors because we do have a number of doors within this project, and maybe we want to know how many we need to buy, what type of doors we want to buy, where they're located. Maybe we want to just simply use it for checking the model, make sure that we are using the correct type of doors, a bit of quality assurance. So as soon as you click that new schedule button, Revit's going to ask us what category of component we want to create a schedule for. Now just be aware there is a little discipline filter at the top. Doors are going to appear under architecture. I can shorten the list by unticking everything else. And then if we scroll down a little bit, it shouldn't take us too far to find the category for doors. I can at this point give the schedule a name, but we can change that later as well. So I'm just going to leave it as it is and hit the OK button. Revit is going to give us this schedule's properties window. I'll go through this in a little more detail in a moment, but for now we start on this Fields tab. On the left-hand side, we have a list of parameters that we can add to the schedule, and these will form the columns. I can select a field. I can use this little green Add Parameters button in the middle and move that across to the list on the right-hand side. I'm going to go down this list. I'm going to pick out some sensible fields that we'll want to include in our schedule. So we'll want the cost of the door. We'll want a count column to give us a total, for example. I'll want the family name of the door. Scrolling down a little further, let's have a look. Let's get some measurements in there. Let's get the height of the door. Maybe want to know what level a particular door is on. Let's get the mark number as well. Let's get the type name too. And let's get the width of the door as well. Now, this available fields are showing you all the fields associated with doors. However, sometimes you might want additional information such as the name or the number of the room that a door leads into. Just to point out that at the top here, we can change the list of fields for doors to the room that a door leads into, for example. And we can now start picking out room names and stuff like that as well and add those to the schedule. But for this example, we'll just leave it as it is. Now, the order of the list on the right-hand side will be the order that the schedule is formed in. So we're going to want to put this into some sort of sensible order. And I'm just going to add manufacturer in there as well, because I want to start with that one. So with the field selected on the right-hand side, we've got these little up and down arrows here, and we can rearrange the order of these fields. It is one click at a time, so it's going to be a little click heavy to start off with. So manufacturer at the top. Then we're going to want the family name of the door. Then I'm going to go for the type of the family. And then let's have a look. Let's add in the height and width. Okay. Then we'll go with maybe the mark number of the door, then the level, then the cost, and then the count. Okay, so that's going to be the order of the schedule with whatever's at the top being the first column. We'll come back to this window in a moment, but for now, I'm just going to simply hit the OK button. Revit will take the information that we've added so far, and it's going to generate us a very basic schedule. Just looking at this schedule, straight away, I can spot some issues in my model. So before we start to tidy the schedule up and get it to appear how we want and get totals and stuff like that, I can instantly spot some mistakes on the model. Looking at the manufacturer's column, all the doors for this project should be supplied by M&M, abbreviated for Man Machine. But I can see there's still a couple of doors on there that are Autodesk Revit doors. They shouldn't be in this project. They need to be replaced or swapped out. Schedules are bi-directional. So we can update the door within the project normally, or we can update the door directly within the schedule. Now, a nice little nifty trick. I know this door here needs swapping out. I know it's on level 2, but I don't know which door it is. I could have added the room number or room name as well, just to narrow it down, but then I've got to find a view and troll through it and find where this door is. But with the door highlighted within the schedule, if I just go to the Modify tab for our view group, got this little nifty selection box tool here. It'll open up the default 3D view, and it's going to create a section box around the object selected within the schedule. I can see the door. It's highlighted, it's selected. I can go to the properties window and I can change it out for one of the Man Machine doors and problem solved. And if I go back to the schedule is automatically updated with the new details as well. We can also change this through the schedule. So where we have this door schedule, and again, another Autodesk Revit door, I'm going to swap that out for a man machine door. It's just telling me that that's going to change. I'm going to click OK there. Let's change this to the man machine internal single family door, and the type size is going to remain the same. And I've changed that within the schedule, and that'll push the change back into the model as well. So it works both ways. The schedule's completely live. I make a change in the schedule, it adds that to the model. Make a change in the model, it updates the schedule, and it works both ways. For example, as well, maybe I'm going to add some cost values to this door. So at the moment, we don't have any cost values here. We might have not known what they were when we started off on the model, but now that we have this schedule here, I have that information and I want to add that into there. These columns can be adjusted as well, just in case the values don't quite fit in the cells. You can, just like in Excel, adjust those. So for this double door, maybe the price of this is going to be £250. I can enter £250. It's a type property. If I fill it in for one double door, it'll add that to all double doors, which is what this message here is asking me. Click the OK button, and it's now added the cost value to that type of door. I can do the same for the single doors. Maybe they're just going to be 150. And I can start updating these properties here. If I just jump back into the default 3D view, and we should still have that section box there. If I select this particular door and we have a look at the type properties, oops, and I find the cost, we can see that's being filled in now on here. So schedules you can use for updating information within the model as well. Okay, so now that we've fixed the issues that we spotted with the model, now that we generated a very basic schedule, we're going to want to customize this schedule. Maybe we want the schedule to only show doors on a particular level, maybe on level 0, that's all I'm interested in. We can do that. Okay. So with nothing selected, if we have a look at the properties window, we get the properties for the schedule. Under the heading Others, we have this field, filter, sorting, grouping, formatting, and appearance. They all open up the same window. It's just the various tabs that it'll initially open up on. It's that same schedule properties window we had when we first started creating this schedule. At any time, I can come back here and add in additional fields or remove fields as well. And just to show you, just select a field and you click the little red arrow this time and it'll remove it from the field list there. Let's have a look at some of the other tabs. I go to the filter tab. We can filter the results based on any of the fields that we've added there. For example, if I only wanted to see the doors that were on level 0, I could filter by the level, and I can make sure that it equals, and you do get a number of arguments here depending on the type of value, and level 0. So it'll only show me doors where the level equals level 0. I'm going to click OK to that, and it will update the schedule, so we now only see the doors where the level equals 0. I might remove that just so that we have a number of doors in the list that we can work with. The next tab is this sorting and grouping. We can organize the list of doors within the schedule. At the moment, it's a bit of a mix. We've got some double doors at the top, then some single, then some more double doors. We kind of have level 0 at the top, some level 1s, and more level 0s further down. There's kind of no real general order to them, other than the mark number, maybe. We can choose how we want to sort these. So first of all, maybe we're going to go left to right. So maybe the manufacturer, then the family, and then the type. Manufacturer is the same, but we'll stick that in there just in case we add any doors at a later stage. That's the different manufacturer. Then we'll organize by family, and then we'll organize by type. If I just click the OK button at that point, it will reorganize the list, first of all by manufacturer, then by family, and then by the type of door. Also at the moment, every single door is being itemized. The count column displays 1 because there's 1 of every instance. At the bottom of this sorting and grouping tab, you have this little tick box here for itemize every instance. If you untick that, then based on the sorting and grouping that you've done at the top here, Revit will group your doors together and your count column will now give you a total for that type of door, or however you've sorted your results. Again, I'm going to go back to itemizing every instance, just so we have more than 2 rows within this schedule. On the next tab, we have formatting. On here, we can customize a few of the settings in terms of the fields. For example, maybe we don't want the count column to say count, maybe we want it to say total. Selecting the field for count on the left-hand side, I can change the heading here to total. I click OK. The column's going to update, and it now says total at the top. We added level into this schedule, and when we did the filter, we filtered out everything so that only level 0 appeared. If this schedule was for only doors on level 0, even though we need the level field there to filter by, you wouldn't necessarily want it displayed within the schedule, because every single door is going to be on level 0. So we need level 0, but we don't want it to show. So with level 0 selected, on the right-hand side, I can make that a hidden field. If I click the OK button now, I can filter and I can organize by level, but the level field is no longer going to be visible within the schedule. And I'm just going to add that back on there. Okay. So we have a number of settings here to control the appearance of these fields. Some of these will only take effect once you've added the schedule onto a sheet, such as the orientation and the alignment of your heading. On the last tab, we have appearance, and again, these will all take effect once you add the schedule onto a sheet. So once it's added onto a sheet, we can choose whether we want to have grid lines separating all the cells. We can choose the line style that Revit uses. We can add an outline. We can have our rows striped, and we can choose how they're striped, make it for easy reading. We can control whether the title shows at all and the headers as well. And we can choose what type of text style is going to be used for either the title, header, or body. Using those settings, we can kind of customize the appearance of this schedule to how we want it to display. The next step is to add this onto a sheet. So I'm going to jump onto a sheet. So we have one that's kind of pre-set up here. And we already have a view on this sheet. So this is showing the floor plan for level 0. And we're going to add the door schedule next to it. To add our door schedule, we'll just simply find it under the schedules and quantities within the project browser. I'm going to left click and hold down, and I'm going to drag my mouse across over the sheet and let go of the left mouse button. You'll now have a preview of the schedule following your mouse cursor around. I can choose where I want to place that, left click, and add that schedule onto the sheet. Again, we can adjust the columns if we need to. For example, the column for manufacturer, the word manufacturer just doesn't quite fit on the line there. So selecting the schedule, I can grab one of these little grips or controls, drag that to the right, and I can adjust the width of that particular column. One of the nice features with Revit 2023 is we can get the schedule to look at the view that we've added onto the sheet and automatically filter to only display the doors that are in the view. At the moment, this door schedule shows every single door within the project. Maybe if I add it onto the sheet for level 0, maybe the view's being cropped down, so not every single door on level 0 is there. I want the schedule to filter purely by the doors we can see within the level 0 view that we've added here. If we jump back into our door schedule and we go back into our filter tab in our schedule properties, we now have this filter by sheet option. If I tick this, we still have our door schedule with all the doors within the project. However, whenever you add this schedule onto a sheet, it will automatically filter to the view that's on the sheet. I might have multiple floor plans of level 0. Maybe I have a large warehouse and there's area A and area B and area C, and I have separate sheets, and I just want the door schedule to show the doors that are in that particular view, and that view only, rather than filtering by level. We can enable that using that little filter button there, and when you add your schedule onto a sheet, it will look at the view, it will look at the doors that are visible within that view, and it will automatically filter itself to display those doors only. I just turn that feature back off, just so we have a nice long schedule to work with, or a longer schedule. Quite a short schedule, really. There we go. One of the other things we can do with schedules is split them into multiple columns, which isn't a new feature within Revit. If I left click and select this schedule, down the right hand side, you've got this little like zigzag, this lightning bolt icon. If you click on that, it's going to split the schedule into 2 columns. I can select one of these columns, and using a little blue grip at the bottom, I can adjust the various lengths of these columns, and I can keep splitting this into as many columns as I want to. Schedules can get pretty long, and you might need to go onto more than one sheet. That's fine. Let's adjust this and have ourselves a few columns. So let's make that one a bit shorter there. We'll just adjust that one about the same. And let's split that one more time. So we have 4 columns. We'll pretend there's a lot more doors in there. It's quite a small project, really. But we're going to only get to fit 2 columns going across on this sheet. So I'm going to delete column number 3, and I'm going to delete column number 4. We're going to create a second sheet, and I want to continue my schedule on this sheet. In the project browser, under schedules and quantities, if we find our schedule and expand it, we can see all the columns that we've split this schedule into. We have this little indicator now, this little blue box in 2023, which tells you if a view or schedule or legend has been added onto a sheet. It'll highlight blue. You can turn that off if you don't like to see it, but I think it's a nice new feature. We can see that columns 1 and 2 have already been added onto a sheet, but 3 and 4 have not. I can select column 3, and just like what we did with the whole schedule, I can left click and hold down. I'm going to drag column 3 across to my sheet, let go of my left mouse button, and I can now click and place that schedule on the sheet. And I can do the same with column 4 as well. So if you've got particularly long schedules, it's now much easier to split your schedules and go across multiple sheets and see which schedules you've added and which ones you haven't. The last thing I'll show you regarding schedules is that we can export them out of Revit. So maybe we have a third-party application, some accounting software, or something else that we want to import this into, or maybe we just simply want to get this into Excel, where we can set up some additional formulas and stuff like that and add additional information. Once you've created your schedule, if you go to File on your ribbon bar, and we go to Export, see if I can remember how to do this now, and we scroll all the way down, I'm pretty sure, yeah, that's right, yep. So File, Export, scroll all the way down, you've got the options for reports. When you expand that, you've got the options for schedule. Selecting schedule, we can save this as a CSV file. That can then be imported into Excel. I'm just going to hit the save button here. It's going to ask us how we want to separate out the information within the CSV file. I'm just going to go with the default settings there. Hit the OK button, and this has now been saved as a CSV file. Within your third-party application, as long as you can import CSV files or text files, or within Excel, you can now import that into there. So that kind of covers all we really have time for on schedules without going into a lot of detail. There's other stuff we can do on here. We can start merging headers. We can start setting up formulas as well. So if you want to calculate areas and other information that you can't natively pull out of doors or walls or whatever you're creating schedules for, you can add those as well. If you want and head over to the Man and Machine website, you can sign up for our 9th session on the Revit Starter Series. On our 9th session, we're going to be having a look at twin motion. So we've already looked at Enscape for our rendering capabilities, or some of the rendering capabilities within Revit. But we'll take a look at twin motion, which is a different rendering application by Epic, and we'll run through the differences between twin motion and Enscape and the benefits that you can get out of twin motion. So again, do check out the Man and Machine website. Do register for our 9th session. And if you've missed any of the previous sessions, do jump onto the Man and Machine YouTube channel where you can access those now. And again, thank you all for watching.